Okay, so let's start styling this homepage here. And one thing, after looking at this for a little bit, I do want to make it wider. That way we have more room to work with this form here and make this button bigger and more obvious. So let's do a couple things here. First off, I want to take out this class here, or these classes of 10 and offset, because I want it to be the full width. That way we also can take out this row, which would also mean taking out this row down here, and we'll highlight all this and bring it back in so it stays more organized. Let's reload it one more time, and it should, there we go. All right, so it's wider now. Beautiful. Now let's get to work on this top section here. So what we need to do is make some changes in the HTML page here with our divs. So we don't want, and what I mean by that is we want just this top section here to have the background. Then I want to go back to white for this body section. So we have to make sure this div is outside the container. So we're going to go ahead and name this home top. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and take this away. And I'll say dot home top here. Okay. And then we have blog main. We don't even need that. Oh, I forgot to save this. My bad. There we go. Had it as a class, not an image in the HTML. We're good there. Okay. And let's see, what does blog main have in terms of styling, just so we know when we take it out? Font size, line height. Okay, that's fine. We can keep class. We can combine these. Let's go ahead and keep it like this for now. Then we'll move forward. So div ID home top. And we could actually, it doesn't do much since it's just blog main. This is just that styling there. Let's go ahead and take that out. Just right along this line. You take this blog main out. And what we have to do is we want to take this out right here. We want to move this above that first paragraph. Okay. And then we're going to have to do div class equals container, just to wrap in this paragraph right there. We got to give it that blog main so that it keeps the font size and line height. All right, so now we're all good. Now let's get to styling. So we have home top. Let's give it some padding top. Let's go 70 pixels. Nice. 60. Padding bottom 60 pixels. Beautiful. Oh, didn't mean to save that. All right, I like that so far. That was home top. So let's just do home page, home top, padding top 60 pixels, padding bottom 60 pixels. now what we want to do is go with the background. So if you remember before, we brought in a background image when we were working on the 1 million line site. So we're going to do similar CSS to that right now. So let's go over here to Sublime. And background image URL. And I have this background image I brought into images. You'll be able to link to it. I'll put it in this lesson files. But it's going to be background.jpg. So we're in CSS. We have to get out of the CSS folder. So get out of it. Go to images. And background.jpg. All right, so let's look at this. Let's check out, and this image is actually only 38 pixels by 78 pixels. So why is it covering this whole section here? All right, let's look at background properties here to answer that question. So CSS background properties. So the different properties we have is we have color, image, repeat, attachment, position. So far we've seen color and image come into play. And we're about to learn about repeat and position. Okay, so let's do this right now. Let's go here and we'll say background repeat, no repeat. All right, so now we set it to no repeat, and you see it's just this small little section over here. However, if we do repeat X, then it goes all the way across the X-axis. All right, now if we do repeat Y, then it just goes up and down the Y-axis. Or you can do, which it was default set to when we did the background image, you can just do repeat, which means both. All right, so you see that you can repeat background images, and this is great because that little JPEG right there, it's only 38 by 78 pixels and it's only like 1 kilobyte of space. So it doesn't take up a lot of space, but the browser knows to repeat it across. So you have the background repeat we just learned about. Now let's go ahead and take it and say no repeat. And then we have background position. So with background position, let's go over here to our site. And you can see, and you notice this with the last background repeat, there's not only background position and background repeat, but for each of them, there's background position x-axis, background position y-axis. So for instance, we could do position, or this will be easier to explain by saying background position x. And you could either say left, which it currently is, or you could say right, which it currently is. Or you could say, which it is now, but you could say center. Okay? So center, we'll leave it at that. Then you do background position Y. You could say top, say bottom, which you can't really see because that footer's in the way, but you can see a little bit there. Or you could say center as well. Or you can do background position, and you can say top, left, or top, right, or center, center. Okay, so that's background position, and then we have background attachment, which is, usually it scrolls with the page. See how it scrolls? But you could also do, so scroll to get scrolling, or scroll actually. And then you have fixed. So now it stays at that point. See, fixed. So background attachment, and you have background size. So it's set to auto, but you could also have cover, which stretches the image out so that it fits the element. So in this case, the whole body of the thing, and since we have fixed, it'll stay there. Obviously, this doesn't look good because we have such a small image. But say you had a big image like what we did with the 1 million lines background. We want it to fit to the size of the screen. Then we use cover. There's also background size 50%. So it's 50%. You could do 100%, and that pushes it all to the side, or all the way out, so it covers the parent element as well, body. And what you can also do instead of having all these is you can put them in one. You can put these repeat, position, and attachment all on one line. So let's go ahead and take these out, and it's called shorthanding it. But we're going to change this to background, and then we can say no repeat. We'll say left. I'll take out that size too. Say left, top, and we can say fixed. So now you see when we scroll, it stays fixed to that top left for that div there. All right, so you've seen all the different types of background properties and what they do, and you've seen how to do the shorthand property. So just to make sure, we're going to go over here in our code and we'll say we have background image, but we're going to change it to background, and we're just going to say nice and easy, repeat. So looks good like that. And next we'll just finish up this home page and make it look good.